Hey, it's Holty with Holty Stories. Thanks for watching today. Today's gonna be a little different. No driving around. Instead, I'm gonna talk a little bit about Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson and her upcoming appointment to the Supreme Court. I'll tell you a little bit about her family's connections to Boston history, as well as a really interesting political connection that I did not know about. So stick around and we'll get into all that. Thanks again.
So if you watch the news at all, or just own a TV, you've probably seen that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has been nominated to be on the Supreme Court. It looks like she does have the votes to be appointed, so let's get to know a little bit about her and what connects her to Boston in such an interesting way. Ketanji Brown Jackson is a current federal judge and nominee for the Supreme Court. She's led an accomplished life that's taken her from Miami to DC to Boston and now back to DC again. Her first stint in Boston was as a student at Harvard University. She was told by a guidance counselor in high school to set her sights lower and apply to a less competitive school. However, she applied, was accepted, and succeeded as a student, earning her bachelor's degree in government and going on to Harvard Law School. While at Harvard Law School, she earned the position of supervising editor for the Harvard Law Review. This position is earned through a combination of academic performance, a writing competition, as well as other metrics. This was a difficult feat to achieve, and many members of the review have gone on to very successful careers, including former President Barack Obama, numerous Supreme Court justices, as well as many federal judges and other elected and appointed government officials. After law school, Ketanji married Dr. Patrick Jackson, who was finishing medical school at Columbia University. They had met while both undergrads at Harvard. She began her successful legal career as a lawyer and also working as a clerk for numerous judges before being appointed as a judge and starting on her path towards the Supreme Court. Throughout her confirmation hearings, her husband Patrick has been seen as a supportive spouse sitting by her side. He is an accomplished surgeon as well as a member of one of Boston's most powerful and connected old families. Let's take a look at his family tree and see where these connections go and how deep his roots go in the city. Dr. Jackson is a member of the prominent Jackson family that can trace its roots back to the 1700s in colonial-era Boston. They were members of the elite class referred to as the Boston Brahmin, which takes its name from the Indian caste symbol, the Brahmin being one of the highest upper classes. Although extremely successful in her own right, Judge Brown Jackson has mentioned that her husband's family was very different than her own. As she was only the second generation in her family to attend any college, her husband's family can trace at least 6 generations back to Harvard University alone, including him and his brother. As we look back through the generations of the Jackson family, many of these names belong to prominent physicians, lawyers, political figures, as well as his great-great-great-great-great-uncle, Charles, who served on the Massachusetts State Supreme Court. And if you look at Charles's branch of the family tree, you will see that his daughter Amelia married Oliver Wendell Holmes, and their son, Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., went on to serve as a justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. Which means Ketanji Brown Jackson is not the first Supreme Court justice in this family. So we've seen how far back the roots of the Jackson family go, and how many powerful political connections exist within the family. But we'll come back to present day, and we'll talk about one more interesting connection that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson has through the Jackson family. If you look at Ketanji's and Patrick's row on the family tree, you will see that his twin brother William is married to Dana Little. Interestingly, her sister Jana Little has a different last name now. Her name is now Jana Ryan, wife of Congressman Paul Ryan. Ryan is a Republican congressman and also ran as a vice presidential candidate under Mitt Romney. Although to say Judge Brown Jackson's views and Congressman Ryan's views are different is a massive understatement, they have both been quoted as saying that they respect each other and remain peaceful at family gatherings. So the Jackson family tree has numerous doctors, business owners, politicians, landowners, and other prominent figures. It can also now count 2 Supreme Court justices on its branches. So congratulations to Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson on her appointment to the Supreme Court. She will have made history as the first Black woman to serve as a Supreme Court justice, and she will hold this position for her life. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. I'm Holty with Holty Stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.